Hey friends, hello and welcome back. In this video, we'll talk about Sir Francis Bacon and his essay Of Revenge. Of Revenge is one of the wonderful essays written by Sir Francis Bacon. Before we begin to talk about the essay itself, let us try to understand a few things about Sir Francis Bacon. Sir Francis Bacon was born on 22nd January 1561 and died on 9th April 1622. He was an English writer, statesman, scientist and a philosopher. He is regarded as a prominent Elizabethan figure. He is one of the great men lived in English Renaissance. He is famously known for his empirical and scientific temperament. Therefore, he is also regarded as the father of English empiricism. Now, he is regarded as the father of empiricism, so you must know what is empiricism. Empiricism is the theory which says that human knowledge comes predominantly from experience. And experience we get from our five senses. Bacon's most celebrated work is Novum Organum. It is a discourse and discussion about the directions of the interpretation of nature. Although Bacon was a respected, honored and revered figure of his time, he was also despised by the people. Probably this is the reason why Alexander Pope says that Sir Francis Bacon was the wisest, brightest and meanest of mankind. Bacon's style of writing essays is very peculiar. He is known for his peculiar style. He is a trendsetter in English essays in relation to form and style. His essays are written in aphoric style. And what is aphoric style? Aphorism means stating things, concepts or ideas in as few words as possible. His essays are very short, but they contain profound thoughts on the subject. It is said that Bacon truly justifies the dictum, brevity is the soul of wit. Each of his essays contains at least one Latin quotation. There is wise counsel, humor, irony, paradox and antithesis in his essays. His essays were first published in 1597 and then they were expanded in 1625. That means the expanded version of his essays was published in 1625. Now let's begin to talk about his essay Of Revenge. Francis Bacon says that revenge is a kind of wild justice, and he also advises that law should put an end to this kind of justice, to revenge. According to him, the first wrong offends the law. That first wrong who commits is offense of the law, but revenge of that wrong is contempt of the law. I mean, it keeps the law out of the office. Man is like his enemy in taking the revenge, but he is superior in letting it go. If you take the revenge, you are very much like your enemy, but if you are letting it go, you are superior to that. It is prince's part to pardon. He uses a special phrase. It is prince's part to pardon. That means if you forgive, you are a prince. It is the glory of a man to forget an offense. A man is glorified if he forgets an offense. What has happened in the past cannot be undone. That is the truth. Wise men have enough things to do in present and future. That is what Bacon says. If you are wise, you have enough things to do in present and in future. Those who indulge in the past matters, actually what do? Those who indulge in the past matters, they struggle with themselves. Further, he says that no man does wrong for the sake of wrongdoing. I mean, there is no man who commits a wrong because he wants to commit it. He does it to gain some profit, pleasure or honor. I mean, there must be some reason. Therefore, I should not be angry with a man who loves himself more than I do. I mean, I don't love myself more than that man. Therefore, I should not hate that man or I should not be angry with that man. He expands the idea further and says that if some person does the wrong merely out of his ill temper, for example, some person is doing some kind of wrong only because he has an ill temper, then we have to understand he does it because he cannot do anything else. I mean, he has no other quality, that's why he does it, and one shouldn't think about that. Therefore, Bacon further says that the revenge that does not have any remedy in law is most tolerable kind of revenge. I mean, if you are taking revenge which doesn't have any remedy in the law, then it is a tolerable kind of revenge according to him. But a man should make sure that there is no law to punish this. If you are taking the revenge, this revenge should not be punished by the law. What will happen if the revenge is punished by the law, or it is punishable by the law? If a person takes revenge against the law, he earns two enemies according to Bacon. Now, who are those then two enemies? The first enemy is the person against whom the revenge is taken, and the second enemy is the law itself. A person becomes enemy to law also if he takes the revenge. Therefore, a man should be very careful about this. Some people want the other party to know that they are taking the revenge. Now, according to Bacon, this kind of revenge is very generous. He says that this is a generous kind of revenge. And why is it a generous kind of revenge? He says that it is a generous kind of revenge because delight does not lie in the revenge, but in making the person repent. And that is the reason he says that this is a generous kind of revenge. According to Bacon, mean people and scheming cowards are like arrows shot in the dark. So one shouldn't be like that. We are taught to forgive our enemies, but we are not taught to forgive our friends. And we should learn to forgive our friends because it is a good tendency to forgive our friends. A man who thinks of revenge actually keeps his wounds green. He does not let his wounds heal. According to Bacon, public revenges are fortunate, and fortunate to a great extent. For example, revenge of death of Caesar, revenge for the death of Pertinax, revenge for the death of Henry III of France, and so on. These are the examples of public revenges, and he says that these are justifiable revenges. But in private matters, it is not so according to Bacon. A vindictive person lives the life of witches. Bacon says that a vindictive person lives the life of witches, and witches are mischievous. And as they are mischievous, they die an unfortunate death. So one shouldn't be revengeful, one shouldn't think of taking the revenge because there is lawful remedy for every wrong done. That is what Bacon wants to say. I hope you have understood Bacon's essay of revenge and you have understood the ideas that he is trying to communicate. I hope this was a useful video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and